The following program is a production of Yowawa Media. Opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program do not necessarily reflect those of Yowawa Media or our sponsors.
Yep. Hello, everybody. Here we are again. Oh, we got some feedback. It's well, episode 19. Here we are, Citizens United. I'm your host, John Restino, and well, you know what? I'm gonna say hello to Lisa and to Robin and all that. Then I'm gonna read some. Before we get into it, I'll read a few things that I know up to date on the presidential election, and we'll go from there. Lisa Dorado, hello.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day.
Yeah.
I know it's been stressful all week.
Was a nice weather day.
Yeah, the weather was beautiful today.
And it's only getting better, too.
Yes.
Like 6 straight days of sun and
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Now, over to our production friend and wife of mine, Robin. How's it going?
Going very well, thank you.
Are you turned on? Did you remember there's a switch there?
Yep, I'm on.
Well, maybe we got something happening. I'll say hello to you again in a minute. All right. Can you hear her?
I can't hear her, no.
Oh, okay, then something's up. All right. Well, when you can hear yourself, just say something whenever something. I don't know. You know what I mean? All right. Anyways, let's get into this real quick and what we know so far, and then we'll talk to Lisa. I want to get her opinion on what's going on. First off, the last thing I've seen. And it's very hard to get these, and it's frustrating. We can't even get the electoral vote in. We just can't even do that. Like, even have that in sync with each other. But anyways, I'm going to go with what I was going with last night. So right now we have Biden with 264 electoral votes. Trump is sitting there with 214. So what we have left is 20 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. President Trump has a 390,000 vote lead. 1 million ballots need to be counted, and this was as of 2:30 today, is what Pennsylvania told us. 15 electoral votes from North Carolina, and President Trump has an 87,000 vote lead. Georgia, which is really, I thought it would be, I don't know why it hasn't been called yet, but President Trump is up by 83,000 votes. Nevada, Biden is up by 8,000 votes, and there's supposed to be an updated vote total expected any time today, but we haven't had that. The House and Senate's staying the same. The Senate's going to stay Republican, and the House will stay Democrat. You there?
I believe my mic is on
All right,
now.
hello. Hey, how's it going?
We're ready to go.
How you doing over there?
I
know you're sore. Yeah, I know.
Some back pain today,
Yeah,
but
other than that,
can't complain.
all right. Well, good. You got to do your stuff, and then I'll come back to you.
Yep,
All
I'm
right, good.
getting there. I've found a quick way to do
All
it.
right, good. All right. All right, so there we are. That's where we stand, and I want to get over to Lisa. Lisa, I know you know a lot of stuff is happening. I saw a pretty good, like an email was sent out or something that the President Trump campaign put out about what they were going to do. Tell us what they're going to do, because I'm sure you know better than I.
Well, they've already filed lawsuit in Michigan and Wisconsin. They're
Right.
demanding a recount in Wisconsin, the last I checked. The lawsuit in Michigan, I do believe, pertains to the fact that it seemed to be, to me, ballot harvesting happening. I was up until 3 in the morning. I don't understand how one candidate can get 138,000 votes in minutes at 3 a.m., and not one of them is for our president.
Was that Michigan you said?
That was Michigan. That was Michigan. That is why the lawsuit's been filed.
Pennsylvania too, right? Are they?
You know what? I don't know. They hadn't said anything about Pennsylvania the last I checked.
Okay.
You know, I I had to find a whole new an outlet,
Source,
a
yeah.
whole new source today because I couldn't believe my eyes last night after we wrapped up over at Mr. M's last night.
Right.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I got home. And actually, my girlfriend was texting me in a panic and like, what are they doing? It is like a total betrayal by Fox News.
Right.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised. Just for all you people out there that usually use Fox News as your outlet, go to Max News. If you have Spectrum, it's channel 222.
Right.
There's other polling. I actually just pulled up. Somebody actually just sent to me, Joe Herman, if you're out there, you can call in. I don't know exactly what. I think that might have been the AP that you were talking about, where you sent me the map of New York.
Right.
And how it was pretty lit up all over red, except for the same counties that voted for Cuomo. And they called New York last night, and within seconds, which I found to be absurd.
Yeah.
I was hoping that was going to be a little bit of a flip because of the fact that so many people have moved out of New York and the downstate area since COVID has happened.
Right.
So I was kind of hoping, but I talked to a few friends, and they said it's more like more Republicans had moved out, and
Yeah.
Cuomo's people stayed. So,
Right.
but anybody that wants to chime in, give us your outlook of what's been happening. My girlfriend Tara, I trust everything that she has to say. I couldn't even turn the TV on today because I was kind of besides myself with just it was just.
Yeah.
BS.
No, I didn't turn it. I didn't turn it on either. Now, last
Yeah.
night we were on YouTube. It was okay. It was pretty. I was happy with that. Robin, you got some?
Yes. Speaking of your friend Tara, is it Tara Truesdale Massaro?
Yes, ma'am.
She said Michigan didn't let the Trump campaign in to watch the vote count.
Yep.
That's against the law in Michigan. That's why they filed suit.
Yes, and also from what I was told too, what I watched Tara too on the Newsmax is that there were people working at the polls in Michigan wearing Biden face masks. And
Yeah,
that is
they-
against the law.
Yeah, they don't even let you go to vote
No,
with
no.
campaign gear on.
No, actually, Peter and I ran into a girl yesterday when we were out at the polls doing exit polling, and she came out. She was so upset, and she had on a Trump hat and a Trump mask and a Trump T-shirt and red, white, and blue pants. And she had to take her turn her mask inside out, take her hat off, button up her jacket to cover where it said Trump, because otherwise they were going to throw her out. And she didn't, but she didn't know. She did not know that was actually a law. But so she went along. So that is a law. It is a
Right,
law.
yeah. Hopefully that'll educate people for
Yes.
the future.
Yes.
And then also a quick comment from Fast Lou. He said fraudsters, they will fail.
Yeah, so you know it, Fast Lou in the house.
Fast Lou. Yeah. So here, that's what we have right now. Remember the numbers 804-1229, 716-804-1229 to call in if you feel, or of course, go ahead. You got anything else on the
Well,
message?
we just had
ahead.
Joe Herman said that he tried to call in
Oh,
and
I must
said
have-
the line was unavailable.
Oh, hold
Call
on.
back, Joe.
Let me
Call-
make
yeah,
sure.
call-
Let me make sure I'm hooked up. Hold on, give me a second. I'm sure I am, but let's do it again just to make sure. Right, keep busy over there. Say something. All right, hold on a minute.
You know what? This is what I want to say because I'm sorry, Robin, but I have to read this one. Lou says it's like watching a 7-year-old stealing at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I was just
It
gonna-
is. I mean, it's so
just
blatant.
gonna
It's
go that-
crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Citizens United, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing? This is Joe Herman. How you guys doing?
Hi, Joe.
We're doing good.
Hi, Joe.
Thank you.
Hey, Lisa. I'll give you a little background. I was born and raised in Niagara Falls, joined the military, so I retired. I'm living in Iowa now, but I try and get on and watch you guys every week.
Thank you.
What Lisa's pertaining to is, and it's unfortunate because it's the same, California, Pennsylvania, 90% of the state's red, and this is where the big cities just take away from, Western New York and, Western Pennsylvania and so on. So it's that's what I was talking to Lisa about.
Right. Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and another thing saying, and of course, everybody's conspiracy theories and this and that. It's just crazy. Every state that there's a problem is a Democratic governor state. We probably have a bunch of people saying, "I'll quit whining," this and that. Yeah. There's no problems in any GOP state. It's so obvious what happens. And like Lisa said, to get 100,000+ votes when you're not supposed to be counting votes anyways, because you said you're going to stop counting votes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What happened in Georgia?
Go ahead.
Do you know what happened in Georgia? Some sort of a water main break mysteriously happened, and they had to stop counting votes. Am I correct about this?
Yeah, you're correct. That's what they said. But again, these are states that, this, you hate to say it, but Trump predicted this months ago.
Yes.
Right. And I think he needs to fight.
He will fight. He's been fighting for 5 years. He's not going to stop now. There's no there.
And then you talked about Pennsylvania. They had an interview there. They had with Eric Trump, Rudy Giuliani, all of them. They actually have video that they're going to release that at some of the polling stations there. People are wearing Biden-Harris masks and this and that, and weren't allowing people to watch. To observe.
They were covering up windows.
And I thought it was odd that Pennsylvania opted to not start counting any of their mail-in ballots until election day.
Yeah, that is weird.
They had them in advance, and most of the states, in fact, all of the states that I know of, started counting as the ballots came in.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania opted to wait until election day, so there was a big dump of votes all of a sudden when it looked like President Trump was on track to win. All of a sudden, you have all these urban votes coming.
Right. Well, we have... Oh no! Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Not only that, but I mean, how obvious was it? You're watching Trump run away with Georgia, North Carolina, all these states he was running away with that got up to like 94, 95%, and then bam, they just stopped. They stopped. Like, we got to stop, and maybe we got to figure something out.
That's called. They wanted to start ballot harvesting. Is what they needed to do, and they knew it.
It was so obvious.
So obvious.
So Danny Fitzpatrick just said that it might be a state law in Pennsylvania. So if that is the case, then obviously that makes sense.
That's why that's why
the state law
about counting
the ballots ahead of time.
The mail-ins. But I just know that as of 2:30 this afternoon, I saw the Board of Elections in Pennsylvania say they had 1 million ballots that need to be counted. And right now we have the president up by almost 400,000 votes.
Right.
So it's
but now what they're not.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was just going to say it's going to be a heck of a pull for him to lose, even with the million. Think about, you know what I mean? Even with the million ballots, it's
and a lot of these ballots that were coming in were from red counties as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's just the same thing with Arizona. A lot of these ballots that are still out there are red county ballots. Yes. So, well, listen, guys, it's great. I watch you guys every week. I miss home, Niagara Falls. I miss the food. I miss the friends.
Hey, listen, I can overnight you some stuff. Let me know what you want.
I'm going to message you.
I'm serious. I'm not even kidding.
Thanks, guys.
I got a guy.
Thank you.
Thank you for
calling. You guys are doing great. All right, thanks.
Have a good day. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Pennsylvania, that's why I'm looking at the numbers. I know, Lisa, you're right. I've read it myself. He's good. They're good. I don't blame them for wanting a recount. I don't. Sure. I think Biden would do the same, honestly. So I think both sides would do the same.
I just think this is like the worst possible scenario that could have happened to have it this close and this controversial, of course, because I think it just adds to the division and the divisiveness that we have in the country that has trickled down from the politicians to the people, where people can't even have a civil conversation about politics.
It really wasn't that close, Barb. That's what the MSM wants you to believe, is that it was close. That's why they stopped calling it.
Well, I was thinking, as I'm looking at the numbers and the states that are left, it's really not, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think it's over yet. I mean, there's a good chance, if he wins Pennsylvania, which is, it's an opportunity, he's up by, I think it's 390,000 votes. Then you're talking North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, and who you would imagine he might. I mean, that would at least make a little more sense to me, because in Nevada it can be a flip flop. I don't know what happens in Nevada.
Yeah.
But to believe that President Trump could win Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia is not a big stretch. So we'd be sitting there at let's see, that would give him 35 plus another, so that would give him 51 electoral ballots, which what did I say, 51? So that would put him at 265, while Biden's at 264, and Nevada's got 6. And then you're saying, who knows, man? It would be like overtime. You got something there?
Yep. Fast Lou again says Trump's a champion chess player. Just wait for his next move. Soon it will be checkmate. 4 more
I call him
years.
Bobby Fischer, Lou. And for those of you out there that don't know who Bobby Fischer is, Google him.
Tara
Or actually use
Truesdale,
DuckDuckGo.
Right?
Tara Truesdale Massaro said they changed the law a few weeks ago in Pennsylvania. It's a new law meant to stop Trump.
Well,
Yeah.
Kathleen Stallman Marshall said treachery afoot in this election. Patty Hayes is joining us, and she says hi to everyone.
hello,
Hi,
Patty.
Patty. Thanks for coming out last night. It
Yes,
was
we
great to see
appreciate you being there. Tara Truesdale Massaro again says, of course Biden would do the same. Hillary will still never admitted defeat in 2016. It
Right.
was Russia.
Yeah.
Billy Nye says, thanks so much for your show. Truth be told.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We'll be getting into some stuff later that Mr. Nye will like. Go ahead.
And Danny Fitzpatrick confirmed that they can't count in Pennsylvania until the day of.
Okay.
And Kevin Hutchinson said, being the only non-Trump person, I'm in the wrong place.
No, you're good. Stay, Kevin.
Kevin.
No one's going to do nothing. No
I
one's
mean,
gonna-
we won't hold it
kinda
against
crazy.
you.
No, he's a good guy. Come on.
Exactly. But I think that, I think the American people are sophisticated enough to see what happened last night. So it was very strange. It was very foreign to everyone. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And
Especially since it was a record-breaking amount of votes ever.
Yeah.
Think about that one. Now, when you were talking about Nevada, John,
Yeah.
okay, how do you think these people over in Nevada, with their casinos closed and everything that they are is in the the industry that they
Right.
you know what industry?
Service,
It's
yeah,
service
service
industry.
industry,
Thank
yeah.
you. I couldn't think of the word service. When they're basically shutting down a place like Las Vegas,
What?
people are going to pay attention.
Yeah, one more. If they went to another one.
People are seeing the politicizing
Well-
of the COVID-19 BS.
Well, you know what? All they had to do at this point, we had remember the Democrat. The Democrat primary was right in the middle of all the stuff, so of the COVID. So
Yeah.
I get it. I really thought they could have released. You probably didn't have to go this distance with it, because I do have to say, I mean, you can get an absentee ballot, fine. You call in for that. But most people that aren't at risk, by this time, should have been able to probably go to the polls. I mean, I don't. I mean, and this is something that everyone says, but they're in Walmart. I mean, everyone's everywhere they want to be, and you probably
Right.
could have went to vote. And
Yeah.
if you're not at risk, I understand it. Risk people
Yeah.
should have just got an absentee ballot or whatever.
Yeah.
And that would be great. Robin, what do you got?
In response to Kevin Hutchinson, our daughter Dominique said, you're not the only one.
Oh, there you go.
Tim Heather says hello to us all.
Hey, Tim.
Tim.
Wade Van Valkenburg, this is a joke. The majority of people are fighting between right-wing nut jobs.
Oh, all right. Well, that's all right. Poor, and I feel bad for Wade today. Governor Cuomo.
And then I was just going to
Yeah.
say, he also said that Cuomo just killed my party in New York State.
Yeah.
And then one last comment from John Fidel. What happened to votes being counted on the day of election, and what happened to the virus talk? There's not much of it going on.
Yeah, and numbers here are really climbing. If you look at them, you know, when I get the updates from
double digits
from
every day.
Dennis Virtuoso,
Yeah.
so they're climbing. They're almost getting at the level of when we were not even moving anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't know. So no, I mean, anyone here. I mean, no one's. I really appreciate everyone's opinion. I have never told you really what I'm doing. I mean, I'm just here. I mean, I'm just here trying to. So I don't. I can see both sides of everything, and I don't know. But I do want to say something about Wade Van Valkenburg. I feel bad. The Green Party got destroyed by Governor Cuomo, and that's really ridiculous. I mean, that's just squashing. Once again, just squashing, discourse, whatever you want to say, a voice.
And you know, I
it's sad.
saw some people online interacting with Wade earlier saying they were considering joining the Green Party.
Oh, now, yeah.
I know me myself considered voting for Howie Hawkins when I wasn't happy with either Biden or Trump particularly. I went from one to the other, and ultimately made a decision between the two of them. But to be honest, Howie Hawkins was a very enticing choice, and it's a shame that we won't have that in the future.
Yeah, it's a shame, especially for the governor's races.
And does anyone know what is required to bring the party back? Maybe if you know that, maybe you can send us a message.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, Lisa, what do you think? Thanksgiving? I mean, maybe Christmas. I mean, this is going to be, because of all these lawsuits, and that doesn't mean they're going to the Supreme Court, right? Ultimately, don't they have to be within the state probably first?
Yes.
And then...
Yes.
And then maybe... Yeah, then I guess it would go over there possibly.
Listen, I honestly believe God has our president. I think that God has us all. I want to thank Miss Debbie for saying prayer over me today, because there was a lot of evil lurking around me for some reason, and I wasn't feeling that great earlier today.
Right.
But I am feeling fabulous now. Thank you, Miss Debbie.
Oh, very good.
Oh, I need Miss Debbie.
Yeah, Miss Debbie's great. Miss Debbie's great.
So now I keep looking. And wait, I think we got a call.
Oh, Dennis Virtuoso just said new total just in: Biden 264,
Yep.
Trump 214.
Yeah.
Yep. Citizens United. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good evening to all.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And yes, well, I just in light of the current scenario that our country finds ourselves in, I sum it up to this: there is no honor among thieves.
And you are my favorite caller. I know who this is. I can tell by your voice.
Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
No, I can't. Hello. Can't hide it, right? People say, "Yeah, I know that accent." I said, "No." I tell them I'm from Kentucky. Who are you talking about? Okay. But I tell you why I say there's no honor among thieves.
Yes.
While the Democrats are noted for voter fraud and other things, as far as our electoral process is concerned, the Republicans are known for voter suppression. So they each have their specialties like this. One gets here at the white-collar crime level, and one gets here at the street thug level.
No,
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah, so, yeah. And,
absolutely.
And I know, John, this is kind of your favorite kind of topic in relation to the swamp, but we've seen how the elections took place here in Niagara County, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a combination of both practices that I've just mentioned, the voter suppression and the voter fraud. So I am saying, and I don't know if I said it last week on this show or maybe elsewhere, I've said that the 2020 elections is not the issue of whether Trump or Biden wins. We have an opportunity here. We can either take that opportunity to change things the way it is or not. We never get another chance like that again. And and I won't take up too much time because I know other folks want to get on, but when you wonder, when the Democrats are scratching their heads and wondering, okay, we didn't get the Hispanic vote. Why didn't we get it? Hello, the Hispanic vote is not just Mexico. The Hispanic vote is Venezuela, Cuba, Argentina, and anywhere oppressive. and they know what socialism is.
Yes, they
So
sure do.
that's all I have to add to that. God bless you all.
Thank you, Kevin.
again.
Thanks,
God bless you
Kevin.
as well.
Thank you, Kevin. Robin, you got some comments?
Yeah, Wade answered the question for
Okay.
us, which I appreciate. He said running for president in 2024 and getting the new threshold of required votes is the only way to bring the party back.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Tim Heather answered the question that we had about what court it would go to.
Yeah.
He said state, then circuit, and then Supreme Court.
Okay.
Oh, read what Lou just said, Robin.
Oh, boy.
It's good.
Those electoral votes coming in are as accurate as the COVID-19 numbers. It's a joke and fraudulent. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Patty Hayes says she's trying not to give up hope, but she's kind of freaking out.
Don't you dare. Have faith, Patty. Have
yep.
faith.
Billy Nye says Niagara County has a lot of thieves.
Yes.
Joe Herman says Wisconsin had 3.3 million votes, 3.5 million registered voters. That's over 90% show up to vote, which is unheard of. Complete BS.
Now, we figured out a little bit on that, I think. It was something where you can go to the polls in Wisconsin, register and vote on the same day
yeah,
or
I pulled
something.
that up earlier.
Yes,
We were
that's
discussing
right.
that.
Yeah.
And yes, it is. It's same day registration.
Yeah.
which
And Wade
I
did
find
have
to be
something else to
nay.
add.
Okay, what's he got?
He said, even though I beat Cuomo in Supreme Court last December, we beat him because he never put a bill in front of legislation. This time is different. We are taking Cuomo back to court. The difference this time is that a bill was passed through the New York State budget.
Right. Yeah, he snuck it in there. I
Right.
remember. Yeah, he snuck it in, so no one cared, and it was all through this stuff. COVID was going on. They're trying to get out whatever, whatever they were trying to do with, aid and stuff. Yeah. No,
Wade's a great guy, and I give him credit for all his
sure.
efforts that and what he does for the Green Party.
Yeah, whether you disagree or agree with them, I mean, it's just good. That's good.
Yeah.
You need that because we don't have enough different things going on,
Yeah,
especially in this
yeah.
state.
I think we've outgrown a two-party system. I think we need more parties.
Especially in New York. New York State needs it as bad as anything because it's the only way to try to get back control of Albany. I mean, right now, it's the same 6 counties every year for decades, just, electing him over and over. But,
I think Lisa might have mentioned earlier when we talked to her, it would be nice if New York City and the rest of New York State were separated as far as
I've been saying that for years.
as far as voting, because
Yeah.
honestly,
They should be like a District of Columbia. They should be like a DC over there.
absolutely, because their interests and our interests
Are completely different.
Yeah, completely different.
we're two completely different people. I mean, it's
They've
not
been
even
living.
the same.
Listen, they've been scratching down our backs for years, and now the DNA is so under their nails. It disgusts me.
Yeah.
Well, what about if they were to do something like an electoral college here, like in the state? So each county has a different. I don't know. There's got to be a way to figure it out because it's just not.
There's
got to
be something, but it's just disgusting.
They won't do
when,
it, but
when a small amount of the large amount population wise, but small amount territory wise makes the decision for the entire state.
yeah, we're just so different. I
And-
mean, it's not even close.
Our interests aren't even considered.
Yeah.
No, it's,
Oh, did you see what Joe Herman just said?
He said, I sure hope that if Biden wins officially, that he has the balls to stand up to them when they try to remove him for being unfit.
Yeah, and his wife Jill should be backing that.
all right. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Since it's 6:30, well, no one cares. Halfway through the show, I want to do my quote game.
Yes.
Real quick, okay, everybody. This is a quote from you'll realize. No, you won't. Yeah, you will. Local guy, local person. Here it is. Sometimes you have to vote without worrying if you'll get reelected. I will not worry about that. I will not send families home without jobs. Once again, sometimes you have to vote without worrying if you'll get reelected. I will not send families home without jobs.
Did Kenny Did Kenny Tompkins say that?
Not him.
You're on the right track, though.
Not him. Don't say what? What are you doing? You can't. No,
Chris Baccio?
oh, Jesus. Not him.
We're just going to go down the city
Yeah.
council line.
Anyone-
It's obviously apparently somebody there. We'll let somebody else guess because,
What? Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
well, that's it, folks. I
listen,
mean,
if somebody calls in and guesses, they can meet me for a drink at Judy's Lounge after.
all right. Now, there's one other thing I got to say because we're gonna kind of head over to Niagara County real quick, unless there's anything comes out, anything important that any of you guys see nationally. Of course, interrupt. But here's one thing. First of all, we have a new swamp member, and it's outstanding. How can you beat it? A new member has joined the likes of
Oh,
What?
I've got somebody that guessed correctly.
okay, who is it?
Kevin Hutchinson guessed Bill Kennedy.
It is. It's Bill Kennedy. And you know what's
Once
funny?
again.
You know what's funny about this quote? And I love it. And it just shows how ridiculous this is. He says sometimes you have to vote without worrying if you're going to get reelected. The irony is he voted completely about worrying about being reelected because that's all firemen and police. So he didn't care about giving, renters and landlords and everybody else. He was worried about 70 families. Screw the rest of the families and the people that are poor and everything else and can't do nothing. So there you go. There's the guy.
Did you see what Damon Grant said, Robin?
Let's see. Damon Grant. Did I miss it?
Yeah, hold on, you
Okay.
got it.
Oh, yeah. He
You got
said, same. People think we need New York City, yet New York City needs our resources to power their resorces and acquire their wealth.
Yeah,
Isn't that the truth?
That is absolutely
That's a
the
great
truth.
point, Damon.
Now, last night, first, the new swamp member. This is sad, but they're going to join the likes of. Well, I guess we got to still keep Maziarz in there because he's coming back. He's in there. Anello's in there. You got who else we got in there? Oh, we got the mayor, of course, of Niagara Falls. He's a monster. We've got Watazik.
Watazik.
Yeah, Henry. He's in there. The bakery on 19th Street. It's definitely in there. It's like the house. That'd be their house, like they would
Yeah.
say. They're going to protect the house.
There's a meeting in the green room.
Yeah. Now the next monster, and you know what? It's on Facebook. It's a page, and it's something that you guys might be members of as a group. Niagara Falls Uncensored is not uncensored, and it's a swap monster, and it's just too bad, but they are. And if I were you and you're a member of it, if you're not going to get out of it, I would definitely keep an eye out because. The reporter. I forgot them too. They're in the swamp. They're one of the major swamp people. But the uncensored is pretty much swamp.
Yeah.
Is them. So just pay attention. I'm proud of them. They jumped in, and good for them for revealing who they are. And we gotta love it. But the elections last night were really sad. You had the swamp people winning resoundingly. It wasn't even close. Now, all I'm saying is, okay, Watazik wins, she gets 81% of the vote. The sheriff wins, he gets 93% of the vote. I don't even care anymore with the DA. I guess Seaman wins, he probably got 50, 60-some% of the vote. Okay. Now, all I'm saying to everybody is that you don't necessarily have to win to start chipping away at the swamp. Now, for example, if Watazik's going to win, great, fine. But how about instead of it being the ridiculous blowout by 60 points, how about we just get close? We make them, it's like 60-40 or something like that. Because I'm telling you, and please, you got to believe me, all you need to do is let them know you're looking. And from here, for decades, no one's been looking and they know it. And you just, we're so consumed about what's going on in Washington, and fine, and I agree, but this is happening right in front of you, and it's your own backyard. I mean, it's all being done because we're not paying attention. And you could very easily start chipping away at these things. Just take a look. Take a look at who, I just gave you swamp monsters. Take a look at who they're endorsing. Take a look at, here's a perfect example. I constantly hear from public safety people that run, Oh, I really wish that this wasn't politicized. Oh my God, I'm so sad that it's politicized. And then I say, don't take the endorsements, but they take them. So they don't really mean it. because you don't have to take the endorsements. You don't. Both people that are running don't have to take those endorsements. Just say, no, we're not taking them. We're going on our record.
Yeah.
But no one will, because they're going to take that endorsement and every endorsement. And, somewhere you got to change it.
I have a couple different analogies.
Okay.
Actually, my grandfather was a South Buffalo police officer, my mother's father, and for many, many years. And he would never go brass because he wouldn't cross the line because he didn't want to be put in the position. Okay.
Right.
And my father, who was a union worker, he wouldn't cross the line. He wouldn't go management because he wouldn't play the game. And that's the whole thing. It's like everybody has to realize that there is a price to pay, whether you have good intentions or not. And I think I brought this up a while back. Somebody had asked me a long time ago to run for the mayor of Niagara Falls, and I said, absolutely not. I'm the worst person that you would want me to be your puppet because it wouldn't work for me. It just wouldn't. I couldn't do things that I, in good conscience couldn't do.
Yeah, no.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
It's selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have friends that that are in politics, and I know that they're good people, and I know that they, totally have total good intentions.
Yep.
But you have to say no to some of these people. You do have to say no to some of them.
Yeah. It's
in order to keep your integrity intact, you just do.
You got to say no. Robin, what do you got there?
First, I want to say thank you. We're getting tons of messages tonight, so I'm trying to get to all of them, but I'm skipping through some of them, but we appreciate all of them. Kathleen Stallman Marshall said the president was draining the swamp. The Dems and rhinos will do anything and everything to hide the criminal activity and corruption. One only has to look at the Hunter Biden scandal to see what is most likely just the tip of the iceberg. They couldn't get Trump on the collusion delusion. They will try by stealing the election. Stop the steal.
Yeah.
My head's going to explode.
I mean, literally, we had a record amount of voters that came out. There's a record amount.
Yeah.
So if we are we need to speak up.
Yeah.
This is our country.
And this is
our country.
Yeah. Joe Herman said one thing that's positive if Biden wins is that the Senate will definitely keep him in check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I heard Mitch McConnell say some really off. I was surprised at what he said about the president last night. I was a little bit stunned with his tone, but I guess I shouldn't be because he's one of the, he'd be the swamp monsters of D.C. So
Billy Nye says, John, you're the real deal.
Oh, thank you. I don't think no one gives a damn, but
we care, John.
Tim Heather says Lisa has integrity.
Yeah,
let me keep scrolling, see if I get a compliment.
No,
no, none from me.
But you hear the passion in the people's voice over Washington politics, and in the backyard, let me give you a little. I had a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. Okay, please bear with me. Especially for the people that are younger that don't know this. I'll make this as quick as I can. Senator Maziarz, right? He was a senator, New York State senator, from 1995 to 2015. In 2014, he's not going to run again because he is about to be charged with a felony. He was charged to have illegally concealed $100,000 in payments to a former aide who had departed from his position from Maziar's office amid sexual harassment allegations. His name is Glenn Aronow. Remember his name. Was the staffer who Maziarz gave the $100,000 to. Of course, Maziarz beats everything, gets a plea deal, and only has to pay a $1,000 fine and is given a misdemeanor. Not 1 day in prison, nothing. Henry Watazik, who runs both parties here, he was also charged, a former good friend and aide of Maziarz, and former head of the county GOP party. He pled guilty to a state election law violation about filing finances, and all he gets is a $300 fine. So now, fast forward to this year, January 2020, Glenn Aronow. Here he is again. Now he's hired by the Niagara County Legislature. He's hired to serve as the county's senior employment coordinator, is what I read, started at $54,000. We were notified by the Niagara County that great public information officers we have, and Kevin Schuler. Well, Kevin Schuler pled guilty to 2 felonies in 2018 in connection to the Buffalo Billions scandal. Pled guilty to wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. They hand him $74,000 a year job. Patronage just like here in Niagara Falls, but at least the one they hired here wasn't a felon. And he served 1 day in jail. The sentence was 2 years of supervised release and 400 hours of community service. Within the Maziarz trial, remember this, the name Henry Watazik. He became a witness of, he worked against Maziarz. Now they hate each other. This is here. I'm not going to do it. Not in Washington.
Don't make him let you swear, John.
No. In Lockport, Niagara Falls, and no one gives a damn that that's happening here. Do you understand? This is where my head wants to explode because I don't understand it. These people are... I understand America. I love America. I love whatever they're going to do. I want Social Security. I want all that stuff. But these people are making closer decisions to me, and no one cares. Drain the swamp here. It's dirty. It's disgusting. You know the names. Maybe that's the problem. They're too close to home, but forget it because this is just disgusting. And I just read to you, did you hear that chronological order of felons? And we don't care. We just don't care.
You know what I what I think about that, John?
Yeah.
Is that the average person that goes out and votes, they don't have time to really do the research. And that's what you and I are here for, is
right.
to try and help make sense to the average person that is working 2-3 jobs to put food on their table and just is exhausted at the end of the day to try and figure this all out themselves.
Right. No, we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, hello again, folks. Sorry, I don't want to hug anything.
Oh, hey, Kevin.
We love when you call, Kevin.
No. But listen, though, I want to respectfully disagree a little bit with what you say about people don't care. Here's what happens. People, I have a problem, like, for example, with the Republican Party, where you have the right messenger with the wrong message or the wrong messenger with the right message. Either way. So what happens is this. A lot of people don't care. If you have candidates who will go out there and bring up this history that all of us here on this program and, all of us here know about, right?
Yeah.
You're not getting this. You're getting the run-of-the-mill type of candidate who, once they get on the ballot, they owe everything to the party establishment. So I am hoping that you all will get on board, and I am making this a commitment to myself too, for myself also. If we survive between now and 2022, okay?
Right.
Then let's get behind, find those individuals. They do exist. And if you have a candidate, for example, and no one spoke about that candidate who ran on the 27th. All you hear was the Delaware North twins, Jacobs and McMurray. You didn't hear about his fake candidate, and he himself, he blew it. You know why? Because you see what you're talking about, right? What we're talking about here today, the swamp right here.
Right.
Yeah. He had first-hand experience while on the campaign trail, and he never brought it up. And now I hear him this morning on WJJL crying, "Oh, the Democrats and Republicans are trying to get me off the ballot." Too little, too late, brother. That's what he should have been doing, while actually experiencing the swamp while running as a candidate. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I kind of a little bit disagree with what you say people don't care. And the fact is, we don't have messengers out here pushing that message out here and the reality to what's going on. So let's make it a commitment between now and 2022 to do this. Please survive, as I say, between then and now. Thank you again. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kevin. Anytime.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find that I can local people. I think there's a couple young guys that might run. We need them that would have a different perspective. The only thing I'm going to say to the young guys and women and men that might run, please know the history of this place, because if you don't, it's you won't get it. You gotta figure it out, because those guys are still around and they're not going to stop. Wait till Maziarz comes back next year. 2021 is going to be a big year for him. Big money. He'll be back and they'll love him. They're going to love him. Swamp will welcome him. What's that, Robin?
Kevin Hutchinson says, John Restaino, you are my go-to guy.
Thank you.
And then I have two very, very important comments. Scott Taggart said, Robin's the best.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you, Scott. I think you're the best too. And I like your football knowledge as well. And Tim Heather says, Robin is a good reader of comments. LOL.
All right, no. Well,
You
they're
got
hard
the
to find.
comments in there, Robin. You deserve them.
They're hard to
Thank
find.
you.
It's hard to do it.
Yeah, so I'd like to thank all my fans out there.
Yeah. So, people like to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like about wanting to. I've been hearing this for a long time. I mean, especially since probably 2000, and I know it's further. There's people out there that have been doing this a lot longer than me that have been wanting to end Niagara County corruption and the different cities' corruptions. But there's a lot of people that know it's corrupt and don't. That's the sad part. They know it's corrupt. They know it, and these are just voters. I'm not saying politicians. They don't seem to really. It's just what are you going to do type of attitude, and that drives me nuts, Lisa, Robin.
Everybody is in it for a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
We know that, there's a certain groups of people in different, walks of life in this city that back certain people for certain reasons, whether it be for their jobs, their positions,
Right.
their unions. We all know. We've watched it on, and I know that this shit doesn't just happen here in Niagara Falls.
Right.
It happens in all little towns and bigger cities. It happens everywhere.
Right.
It happens everywhere.
This is-
But
yeah.
this is our city. And if we want to take control of our city and we actually want to try and we're almost unsalvageable at this point.
I know.
I'm driving down Pine Avenue. It's like being in a foreign country to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even.
It's not the
not the
same.
Pine Avenue we grew up on.
I mean, when you have like Tatler's Lane.
Oh, I know.
I told you yesterday. I couldn't believe it when I drove by there yesterday. I noticed it. I was like, she bricked the window up. You can't even have a storefront window because she's afraid that somebody's going to burglarize. I mean, it was bricked up. It wasn't boarded up. They bricked it in.
It's done. Oh, jeez.
I couldn't even believe it.
You got something there, Robin?
Colleen Carey says, we do care what's going on. It's just we don't have enough new people to run for office here in our local city. It's always the same people.
All right.
Yeah,
I get that. And I'll go ahead, Robin, then I'll respond.
Tony Pasquale, Arizona, said, I think it's over for Mr. Trump. His denial that COVID is not a serious issue cost him the presidency.
Okay.
Joe Herman said one thing that was brought up was that this is the largest turnout ever for election. I believe it wasn't to get Trump out. It was to keep Biden and Harris out. Trump has almost 70 million popular votes. Trump is definitely not hated. Think about that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's.
Oh, and Billy Nye says, I love Robin.
Oh.
Joe Herman says, and yes, go Robin.
Oh,
Fast Lou says, yes, Robin, great job, you're hired.
very good.
Boy, I'm going to keep scrolling.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is getting good.
Yeah.
Fast Lou says fraudsters everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, so what Colleen said, I think I understand, but I do understand, but.
Oh, and Patty Hayes is a fan of mine. Sorry. I had
Okay,
to
that's
get
all
that.
right. But they have. I don't care. I'm going to say it again. It could be a ham sandwich. It could be even a Capicol. Well, Capicol definitely wins. But I'm saying they could run against any of these people, these swamp people, and who the swamp here in Niagara County endorses, and I would vote for them. I'd vote for a mailbox. I'd vote for a bus. I don't care. I cannot continue to do this, and we should not continue to do this because it's. Why do we? It's funny. Sometimes I talk to people that aren't even involved in politics, but they could, obviously they get mad because taxes go up, whatever happens in the county, and they're pissed off about it. But they almost look at what happens here in Niagara County, like. I don't know what the right word is. Almost like it's like a nice map. Like, oh, do you remember when do you remember when Vincenello gave loans to, or when Anderson gave loans to Vincenello? Oh, that was a great time. We love it.
Oh, are you talking about the basketball player?
Who? Oh, well, who are you talking about?
Are you talking about Andy Walker?
No. I'm talking about Anello and Joe Anderson.
Oh, Anderson.
Yeah, Joe. No, not him. No, I don't
Remember
know.
Andy Walker? Remember back in the day, Andy Walker?
Yes, and he was great at Niagara. What a good coach he was.
Yeah.
That's all I know of him. You know? Yeah, I don't know anything else.
We'll talk later.
All right, good. Sounds good. I don't know what to do anymore.
And the more we allow it, the more it happens. It's just one of those, like, as it goes downhill, it just grows and grows and grows. The more we allow the swamp monsters to be voted in, the more they feel empowered and more people become like them.
Yeah.
Well, once you, well, first of all, I mean, obviously here, anywhere, term limits would be nice. That's a kind of way to try to
Absolutely.
start to drain it, because here in the Falls, I mean, this guy could be mayor for the next until these people die. I mean, it doesn't matter if you just keep on getting elected.
I don't think
God
that's
help
his
us all.
goal.
Yeah, right. No, I don't know what his goal is.
I don't think that's his
Anymore.
goal. I think he's,
Well, he's a good friend of certain people that we
I
all
think
knew.
He wants to climb a little higher.
Well, and we elected him resoundingly. And what's sad more is only 37% came out to vote. So
Disgraceful Niagara Falls. So
Yeah.
disappointing. Mm-hmm. So disappointing. That was the heartbreaking part about it. Like,
Yes.
especially after, because that I worked on Jeffrey's
Yeah.
campaign. In the hard work, I'm talking the footwork that was involved in that campaign.
Well, I know the thing is, that all goes hand in hand with what we're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, only 37%. Some people are disenfranchised. Some people just don't give a damn. And I understand the disenfranchisement because, but that's the worst when it turns to that, because that means you're just have accepted it and you're just going to roll over and that's it. But I don't know how to wake some people up to the fact that you can. And we talked about this, Lisa. I know, Robin. You hear me. You hear this in the living room, but you understand. We got to wake up to the fact that you can be a friend of somebody. You could be whatever you are. It doesn't matter. There comes a point where you have to recognize, for your own good too, and that maybe they are good people, and they just are part of a problem that has to go away. There can't be any more Mr. Nice Guy, I guess. No more niceties.
Kind of like how you had said over and over, that you would even give the mayor his 4 years. You have to give everybody their chance until they make you just, think differently. But, term, yes. And then if there's a problem, then they need to go.
Yeah. I mean, for me, there's probably nothing the monsters can do that would make me not vote them out. I mean, it would have to be almost magical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I always say giving John Spanbauer that time, too, because I don't really know where he's coming from. I had a chance to talk to him a couple times, and I think he's legitimately a good guy. I don't know if he really will end up in that swamp yet. Can't tell, so you got to give him a chance. The mayor, unfortunately, is he's second in command to Watazik as far as the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you really sit down and think about it, Henry Watazik runs definitely the GOP in Niagara County. I tend to believe the guy in Niagara Falls, mayor, runs the Democrats. But together, very friendly, the both of them. So come on, really think about it.
It was disappointing that the RNC did not endorse Glenn. It was,
Right.
That was disturbing.
Yeah, well,
And I think it's
It's what's
it's laughable.
that's Watazik, though.
And then
He tells
meanwhile,
them what
they're
to
in
do.
the pocket of the governor, who everybody claims to hate.
Yeah.
But yet they vote for the person that Kathy Hochul's,
Friendly with.
with, coming to the fundraisers and taking pictures and.
And no one cares. And you see, there is no shame, because if they post the pictures, I've said this a million times about some of these guys, they're not really even, other than these felons, they're not really even trying to hide it. They put it right out there and say, here you go, folks. And they just come in and do what they do. And Lisa and Robin, I don't know. I mean, there comes a point where I'll probably, if I will.
So how do we change our local committee leaders on these committees? Where do we go?
We would have to.
Where do we tell everybody to go to remove these people out of these committees?
Well, first off, you got to be able to get on them, right? Both the GOP one and the Democrat one here in Niagara Falls and in the county. Well, we have good ones. We had good ones here we had Tim Heather. We had I think John Fidel. These are people that stood up to the Republican Party and told them, you do this and we're out of here.
Right.
Type of thing. That you need more of. You need people that are just not going to be you just can't be afraid. You just can't. You can't be afraid to do what. If you want to change it, there's only one way, and you can't go by force, obviously, because that's ridiculous. But you got to be forceful. You got to be able to say what you would say behind, what you mean, like what you would say at home. You got to say out in the open. And
I've never been afraid of saying what
Yeah, and I think you can't be
Me too.
beholden to your friends and to your,
hell, I'm not even to my family. I really don't care. If you are what you are what you are. I mean, I can't do anything else, like Popeye. I mean, it's just not. You can't do anything else. And for the good of everyone, I think people better start looking that way. I mean, these election results almost got me. I was as mad as some of you guys are mad over the president election. I'm serious. That didn't tick me off or anything. It didn't even really get that much of a rise out of me because I'm just. Then this did. This flipped me. I needed that the prayer. Who was that? Who was gonna
Miss Debbie.
help me out? Yeah, because
Miss Debbie.
Yeah.
If you're out there, call in.
Yeah.
Throw a prayer over our guy John.
yeah, please, because I can't take it no more. Robin, anything else over there before we got to start saying things? Or are we good?
Just people saying
That you're
great show.
Oh, okay.
Tom Judge says, "Go Leafs, go."
Thank you. That's
always
nice.
a welcome comment.
Yeah, usually it's. Go ahead.
And
That's good right now.
yeah,
all right.
That's good. I mean, there were so many comments and such great interaction tonight.
Good.
This is one of the better nights that we've seen. It's just couldn't possibly get them all in.
Great.
I tried to get everyone in at least once.
Nice. No, thank you. No, you're doing a great job. Just keep it up over there.
Thank you.
And then you'll
No,
stay.
another fan.
Then you'll stay. All right, now Lisa, let me give you a chance to close it out. Tell me what's going on nationally, what you got happening, if anything's happening over there with any friends or anything texting you.
Honestly, I right now because I just have us on the live, but let me just take a little peeky. My niece Jessica says we should drink after your podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Meet me at Judy's. Tara, why Pennsylvania is still counting votes after election. This is from ABC News. Go. Let's see what we got. Let me just open it up.
Okay.
We'll see what's going on here. Oh, here we go. It's. Okay, so it says some officials say they were too busy dealing with Tuesday's in-person voting. Pennsylvania, one of the most important presidential battlegrounds, is among the handful of states that did not begin processing absentee ballots until Election Day morning.
Right.
The timeline is one of the reasons that the state isn't expected to have every vote counted until Friday at the earliest. And actually, somebody on Max TV said today, probably Thursday, the earliest for PA.
Yeah.
I guess we just have, like I said, I really feel that God has our president and he has us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really,
Yeah.
I believe that and I have faith in that. And I'm just going to let God have it and run with it at this point. And
Yeah.
there is no change in anybody's minds of which, and I will have faith in any way it unfolds.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Robin, do you have anything final farewells?
I just hope that no matter how this turns out, and I know this is hoping for a lot, but that we can have some kind of smooth and calm, whether it be a transition or whether it be a continuation to where the American citizens can come together again and not be afraid to talk to your neighbor or your family member about how you feel politically.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing that's happened since it probably started in 2008, I would say, or actually no, I take that back. I would go
94.
back to Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to Bill Clinton, and it's just been
It's gotten worse and worse.
so divisive to where I've heard families who can't sit down together for Thanksgiving dinner because their differences are so great. And I just would wish for all of us that, as serious as it is, that we don't let it ruin our relationships.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just feel that we were fine in the 80s. I mean, I was there. We were fine in the 70s. We were fine in the 80s. Everybody as a whole in a country, everybody was working hard and moving forward. And I'm just hoping and praying that we can put all of this chaos behind us.
Yeah.
Because I think in the end, we all want the same thing.
Us as Americans, we do.
We do.
The swamp in D.C. wants to rile everything up. And,
Right.
But the American people,
It's
let's
just
just not feed into it.
Yeah.
Let's pray that people do not keep feeding into
Exactly.
And that's
what's happening here.
And that's exactly what I say about our county.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Absolutely.
You got it. Don't feed into it. The swamp does the same thing here. They take.
And you're right. It
Well,
makes it a little
there's
hard.
a recipe.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's a recipe.
It makes it harder locally because maybe somebody's done you a favor, or you've heard of a friend who speaks highly of
Nobody's
a
ever done me favors.
a politician, or
I don't allow that.
No.
I pay my own
but
way.
I just mean, locally, I think sometimes it's harder to stay open-minded to the candidates because you hear their name around town, you hear what they might have done for your friend, or just they're more accessible to you, so it makes it harder to look at them like part of the swamp. But I think that we have to open our eyes, and whether we like people or not, we have to think of who they are politically.
Right. No, you're right. So it is time for us to go. I'm going to read my numbers, and these are very important numbers too. First off is the YWCA. That is for people that have been sexually abused, are currently being sexually abused. They're victims that want to become survivors. Now, the YWCA is open 24 hours a day. It's 716-433-6714. There's counselors standing by. There's counselors that will call you on at home to counsel you once a week. It's free. It's great. They're incredible. They are really one of the best things we have. And with so much going on with sexual abuse, please reach out to them, and they're there for you, and they'll help you. They'll even bring, if you need to go to the police station, there's advocates to go with you. They do it all. Don't forget them, 716-433-6714. RAIN with 2 N's. That's the same thing. They're doing the same thing as the Y. The only difference is, and it's free also, they will put you in direction. They may just send you to the Y. They may send you somewhere else, but it's the same thing. If you're a sexual abuse victim, want to become a survivor, getting help to get through it. Also, if it's happening to you and you don't know where to turn, these are the places that are going to help you. So don't forget them, 1-800-656-4673. And then through all of what's going on, COVID, everything, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and also, unfortunately, sometimes even suicidal thoughts. So please reach out to 1-800-662-4357, 1-800-662-4357, and they're there 24 hours a day, always listening. They'll send you in the right direction. If you're ever at that point and there's no one to talk to, they're there. So, guys, that's it. We'll wrap up today and be back next Wednesday. We're going to have a guest, John Campbell, right, Robin? That's his name. And do you remember what the name of his, darn it, I don't remember the name of his charity is, but we'll talk about it.
Yes.
He's doing good stuff for the, for the homeless and people that are in need.
Yes.
So,
he's a peacemaker.
Yes.
Great guy, and was is very devoted to his charity.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a nice chance
thing.
to bring forward somebody who's doing good in the community.
Yep. All right, everybody. We will be back next week, and you guys be safe. See you next week.
Thank you for watching. Please join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. for A Night with a Medium featuring Tessa Del Zoppo, and Friday nights at 7 p.m. for Niagara Voices hosted by Johnny Handsome. For full programming listings, please visit our website, www.yowawamedia.com. Thank you.